Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to walk through Castle Thorn on my Solo Magicka. A few notes. The setup I'm running is the one I have on the website, so I'll put the link in the description as well for the guide if you want to know all the tips and tricks and so on. A few things. I run Ice Hard. It's pretty much the best carry set because the shield is really nice. This is a more defensive setup. If you want to go full cookie cutter, go for it. You can do it, no problem. I just feel like Ice Hard is really nice because yeah, the extra shields you get, good. This is even more important if you do more difficult content, especially playing solo. False God, best set for sustain. Like always. I run 2 shock staves. I usually like this more for solo play because you can do the heavy attack to restore resources very easily. If you want to go for more damage, use the fire stuff. You can totally use it. Like, it's not that big of a difference. Same for skill setup. Dark Shade, it's really nice because it applies minor maim, so you get 15% damage reduction on all the enemies, which is super nice. You have Sap Essence for huge AoE damage, Swallow Soul, single target, and both these two heal us at the same time. Merciless, which is just overall great, deals a lot of damage, and so on. You might wonder why I use Incap instead of like Soul Harvest. This is because this one gives us a little bit extra sustain through Reef. I explained this all on the build page on the website, by the way, but just to go over the most important perks, and some people might be like, why is he using this? Makes no sense. Unstable Wall of Storms, you can apply off balance, which is really nice. Remember, if you do a heavy attack on an off balance enemy, you get twice the amount of resources back. Elemental Drain, we need to use this. It gives us more damage and better sustain, same with siphoning attacks, more sustain, extra healing. Consuming Trap, when you apply this on an enemy, I usually apply this on small enemies because they die first, so I get like 7,784 magicka back from one dead enemy. That's so much. Now you could say it's a little bit overkill because we have siphoning, we have elemental drain, we have reef that already give us sustain and potions. So yes, you could use something else like channeled acceleration here. Whatever floats your boat. Keep in mind, this is just like a basic, the baseline setup. Experiment around with it. Do whatever you like. Maybe you don't need a shield at all, so you can replace this. So let's see how this goes. This is normal, by the way. Nightblade overall plays really well, in my opinion. The abilities all look sexy as hell. And it just has so much healing built into all the damage abilities. It's kinda crazy. You have seen my Ice Heart immediately went off. So if I wanna play safe, I could keep up my shield. However, because I have so much healing abilities, it's usually not even needed. Now this big guy here has like a leap attack. If he does, yeah, okay, there we go. I thought he would channel first. Not that big of a deal. This is the first boss, a Dread Tindulra. And the weird name. Not really dangerous, has a few like abilities that actually deal damage. But as long as we keep our shade up, which has damage mitigation, no problem. This here, you should block it or dodge roll when he does the charge. I'm using action duration reminder. Keep up the dots. You could probably just ignore them, I'm not sure. So you have seen I almost went out of Magicka there, and then I applied Consuming Trap on like 2 small enemies, and my Magicka pretty much went back to max. With no issue at all. I'll probably just ignore the small guys, maybe they will die from the AoE. Okay, now I missed the block on his charge. Didn't really matter because I have so much healing going. And he dead. Plunder Skull. Oh yeah, they're test. This is on the public test server, by the way. They're testing the Witches Festival. The dungeon itself looks really nice. They did a good job on both of the new dungeons. The content that the dungeon and the trial team usually pushes out is always nice. The only thing that usually excites me. He dead. So because this is normal, like my builds, the solo builds are optimized for solo veteran dungeons. That's why I usually wear Ice Heart, play with shock staves, because they're more defensive. And the Ice Heart just carries your ass so hard. Now here for the solo dungeon in normal mode, I could definitely go for a more damage focused setup without issues, because nothing really deals a lot of damage. Except maybe the bosses sometimes.
Well done, Talfyg.
That's also a pretty cool boss. At least he looks really cool.
She will complement our Lord's army well.
What is this? Damn it, Talfyg! What have you done?
Blood flows strong when this.
Blood Twilight. Let's just drop everything on him right away. If I recall correctly, yeah, he has this attack, which is, he charges it very long. Okay, I dodge rolled too soon. Just shield up and block this. It's kind of like in Maw of Lorcash. It actually deals damage. It's doing the charge thingy, dodge roll. So I'm just gonna apply Consuming Trap on these guys to get like AK Magicka back. Reanimated a vampire. Let's kill him. Dodge roll the heavy attack. The Wrecking Blow or whatever it is. Now honestly I'm not really sure. Like these orbs. Yeah, I guess it just do damage and he's in this phase for a while. Okay. Oh, so that's what they're trying to do. I was always wondering... Okay, yeah. So while the boss has this blood pool active, I guess these mobs are trying to push you. Or like the AoE thing, it tries to push you. Dodge roll? Into the pool, so you die. Just realized that now. Kinda hilarious. Let's see. Can we damage the guy? No, as long as these are up. Not. Still not. Okay, we can't dodge roll that. Always dodge roll these heavy attacks because they do a lot of damage. You can block the AoE though that this guy does. You can always block to mitigate damage. This boss is a lot easier in a group, you can just burn him down. Ignoring all the mechanics. And maybe I could too if I had like a full cookie cutter setup. So here, this is kinda hilarious. It pulls you in, it will explode. Not really dangerous, you gotta get rid of the shield. And then you can actually throw this. One of these dead monsters and you get like one of these blobs. 2 blobs even. And this is kinda interesting. Dot throw, the heavy attack. So I know the small monsters don't really do a damage, so my focus is always on the big guy because I know he might be doing a heavy attack. Okay, I just elemental drain the Ratcher. Scenery looks nice. This kinda reminds me of Anor Londo from Dark Souls a little bit. Maybe that's what they were going with, look-wise. See, big guy. Oh, here he is. Elemental drain the big guy because he will probably die at the end. So we always want to focus him. That's how ESO rolls. Small mobs are always AoE fodder. Big guys we have to focus. Sometimes I really wonder, like, I mean, I have a pretty good PC, so my FPS is nice, but it's like, there is so much textures down there that the PC has to render, or the console. It's no wonder sometimes the FPS drops to shit amounts. Kinda weird. Okay, let's try to skip here a little bit. There's just plenty more monsters. Let's see. Maybe we can skip. Let's see. I'm not sure. Drum. Nope. You cannot use the door right now. Wait, what's happening? Use. Can I use it now? No. Looks like I have to kill all the mobs. I guess they did that so people can skip. Not show the heavy attack. Almost lost focus there. Lost focus. As long as you use Swallow Soul or like Sap Essence, you're good on the Nightblade. There's just so much passive healing going on. It's kinda crazy. Nightblade, Mag Nightblade, Mag Sork, Mag Templar, they all so hard carry. Nah, all the solo builds are kinda easy to play, even the stamina ones. I think the biggest problem newer players usually have is resource management. Because as long as you don't figure out that, you might go low on Magicka super fast, and then if you have no Magicka, you're dead. Okay, I dodge roll too late there. Now this boss, he will throw his scythe, you have to deplete the shield. You can throw the scythe to get more blobs fighting for you. Beautiful. Or you can just keep focusing the boss. Kill the vampire. That guy is more dangerous because like his wrecking blow heavy attack charge is really dangerous. Normal mode is always nice because you can see all the mechanics. Throw more of these, let's see. Whoa. Okay, there we go. I'm actually not sure. Oh, he's summoning a vampire, I guess. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Dodge throw. I probably should kill the big guy. They actually do some damage. Let's see what happens. So we throw this. Can we throw another one? Oh, yeah. Keep up the shade for the damage reduction. Now the boss is super low, so we just kill him. Ooh, that actually does damage, the Bat Swarm. Damn! They should not stand in a Bat Swarm, I guess.
I think I know.
There's a total of 5 bosses. Now if you're a newish player, what you can also do is like remove some of the abilities. Because there's a lot of buffs and debuffs to keep up. As a new player, it might be very confusing when to use what, so reducing the amount of abilities that you have to press, just slotting like passive abilities is always a good option. Obviously, as a new player, you shouldn't try the solos dungeons, because they're meant for 4 players. Like for Overland and stuff like that, it doesn't really matter that much. The overland content is a lot easier. With a setup like this, you should have no issues whatsoever. These guys actually deal a lot of damage. But I dropped my ultimate, so he's dead. There's a lot of torturing going on in this house. Come on, cupboard. Okay. Actually interesting to see because I just rewrote the crafting guides for the new website, like ESO-hub.com. You know, it's not up yet. We're still working on it, but I'm like, where do you get food ingredients from? I had to double check because usually I just buy it in the guild stores, but obviously they must come from somewhere. Barrels and stuff. It's just like so much things. Dodge roll heavy attack. But like as a long time player, you don't really realize it anymore. It's like, how do new players do this? Because writing the guides is more for new players, so it doesn't really have any. Just tell them, yeah, just spend your millions of gold in the guild store. It's like, well, I'm new to the game, so I probably don't have that. Two big guys. Let's elemental drain them up. Use my shade. So get the juicy damage mitigation. Yeah, they do a lot of damage, but we can kite them. They're fairly slow. They're not moving at all? Okay, sure. Are they? Can't they move? Okay, they can. They're just super slow. Spectral bow in your face. What's up next? Oh, good old boy Talfyg. No, he doesn't sound healthy. Blood Knight. Damn.
Well, this explains some things. What have you become?
Of course, the friendly guy turns into a bad guy. Gwendis, couldn't you just have killed him before? And she's gone. Okay. Why would she? No, she's actually helping later. So he has a few. Actually, this boss is not easy. In veteran mode, even harder. Should always keep moving because he has these beams. Can always shield up in case you don't know what's going on. This is the heavy attack that you can block, but it deals a lot of damage. And the nice thing is he spawns these small mobs. Max Magicka because of consuming trap. Heavy. Oh, good lord, I dodge rolled too late. Now we can try to hit that guy there. Yeah, look, he dies fairly fast. Always look at the main boss. Dodge roll. It's mostly his heavy attack that deals a lot of damage. Nightblade has so many OP skills though. It's like Dark Shade, damage mitigation, no problem. Dodge roll. So there's another one that just got alive. I will kill it, apply consuming trap. Bam, so much sustain. So I don't necessarily need to use my heavy attack that often. Because I have these mobs to drain me from consuming trap. Okay, that was a mistake. Should have saved this. And often new players also, potions. You gotta keep using potions. Like often new players don't do that. And then you lose a lot of sustain when you don't do that. If you're unsure when he dodge rolls, or when he does the heavy attack, you can also shield up and block. But it deals so much damage. And you see me always move around. That's very important. That boss actually looks pretty cool. Okay, let me do dodge roll, heavy attack. My ally drain run out. So when I don't keep up my dots and stuff, it actually gets tricky sometimes. So that's why it's always important to keep up your heals, your sustain tools and so on. Often newer players don't do that and then you run out of sustain.
The cathedral isn't too far ahead. Lady Thorn should be inside.
Lady Thorn. This reminds me so much of Anor Londo, it's crazy. And it's also crazy how much useless textures this game has to render. I mean, my FPS, at the start of the year they made these like FPS optimizations and my FPS skyrockets. In some dungeons, like I have crazy amount of FPS, but still, like if all these things in the back didn't have to render. Let's actually test this real quick. This good old Alcast has view distance 100. So we see this tower. If you have shit FPS, that's the first thing you do. Whoop! And nothing changed. Okay. Oh, now it's gone. Okay. Because that actually increases your FPS the most. View distance. View distance is the biggest FPS drain. Because it has to render more textures. So if you have shit FPS, turn down view distance to like 30%. Sep Essence, let's go. The thing is, I don't even really need Sep Essence because I have Blockade and Twisting. So Sep Essence is a little bit overkill, actually. Okay, the two guys drop AoE. Now these here do a lot of damage. You can just stay ranged. Oh my god, that lag there. Did you see how my spectral bow got stuck in animation? The dungeon is fairly long. Then I'm gonna focus the big guy, the two-hander first. Okay. And they dead. Actually, just remember something. I will hope I'm not gonna forget it. Use my Dark Shade. I should keep that up more because the minor maim is really strong. 15% damage reduction doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, it is a lot. When you have like several mobs hitting you and all of them do 15% less damage, it's a buttload of damage mitigation. And on bosses, they usually have hard hitting abilities, so it's also quite a lot often. Okay. I think this here is the boss room. Yep, the Grand Cathedral. Oh no, not yet. We have to go through here. I'm just gonna spam Sap Essence so it drains all these dudes. They give me health and they're dead fairly fast. And a Spectral Bow.
Found the remains of the prisoners. Such brutality. Wait, look at all these documents. There's information here about Lady Thorn and the Grey Host. I need to study this.
Okay, study. I guess I will go fight the boss alone. Every NPC ever in every game. Like, hey, I have to do some stuff. I will be back later. Okay, I guess I'm gonna fight the boss alone. Lady Thorn. Man, she definitely works out. Good lord. Good lord, she's big. Okay, I'm just gonna drop my ulti. LA Drain, sure. The boss fight on Veteran Hard mode is actually super tricky. It's gonna fuck up a lot of people. So now you have to go into that green circle. And roleplay in here. There's still AoEs that hit you that you can block them. She's doing heavy attack that you should dodge throw. And don't stand in this, it will deal a lot of damage, at least in Veteran. So that's like super duper whirlwind, bat swarm, omega attack. She's gonna come back. If you stand in the explosion, you're pretty much dead. More AoE. Everybody dodge roll. Ooh, I almost dodge roll too soon. What's she doing? Okay, now it's the phase where this here moves. In Veteran mode it moves faster. In Hard mode it moves even faster. So she's actually not damageable now. We have to kill 4 scams. We have to like throw blood corruptions in her face. From these guys here. But you gotta stay in the circle. Oh shit. Let's see. Throwing it up. 1. Where the hell did she go? Ah, here. Jesus. Should always stay close to the circle. You're immune for a second, like when you pick up stuff. And another one. In Veteran mode there's actually more dangerous monsters showing up. Normal mode is a lot easier. So I threw 4 and now she will come back. I'm just gonna drop my ult on her. YOLO. I'm really bad at keeping up my Dark Shade. So bad. Okay. I must say, animations of this boss, very nice, and the voice acting is also superb. So you can see where she will respawn. Don't stand there or you get wrecked. Heavy attack, dodge roll it, incap in her face. Now the reason why using incap instead of soul harvest is also nice. Ultimate scale of the highest stat. So even if it's a stamina morph, which is the case here for us, it will still deal a lot of damage because it scales of whatever max stat you have. You lose a little bit of damage, yes, but not too much. Okay, another roleplay phase here. Takes a while for the scamps to appear. Now guys, I do have different gear setups on the website for the build. And you don't need the top setup to solo like overland or like public dungeons and so on. You only really need the top setup if you want to solo veteran dungeons. Because that's where I usually test these builds. Like all the solo builds, I tested them in City of Ash, 2 with hard mode, the stem builds, to see whether they are viable or not. And the mech builds were also tested there. But obviously you don't need to do that, right? You don't need the top gear setup for like easier content. So I actually wonder... Ooh. Okay, I blocked that. I dodged roll too soon. Is she gonna do another phase? I guess not, huh? So let's just kill her. Dead. Event tickets, sure. Let's actually see if there's something new in here.
Good riddance.
Nope.
I need to speak with you about what I found in those documents.
And of course, the NPC appears after the fight is over. What did we get? Any cool candy? A branch forked laurel. Of fucking course. Ay ay ay.
Dead army shattered. My next step, you know, between our fun with our cases and
Gwendis, next time maybe show up before the fight starts. That'd be great. I really like this. This fight is fun. They definitely amped up the difficulty compared to the last 2 DLC dungeons from Harrowstorm. Which is nice, so yeah. Build is on the website. If you have any questions, you can always ask me on twitch.tv/alcasthq or in our community Discord. All the links are in the description below. Once again, this here is a more defensive setup. That's why we use Ice Heart, that's why I have lightning stuff. If you want to go full cookie cutter, you can use a damage monster set. You can use fire staves for more single target damage and all that stuff. But in the end, the difference is not that big. And this here is the most balanced setup in my opinion. So yeah, that's it. Like always, all the builds on alcasthq.com. I will update these once we get closer to the launch of the new update. There will be a few changes, not too much. My favorites are still False God, Mother Sorrow for most of the setups, both solo and group. There's a few new contenders like Acuity or Medusa that might be worth looking at as like a secondary option, just FYI. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Cheers.